Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. Our neighbors in Fayetteville are still working to recover after a devastating month. 5 local businesses in the heart of their historic downtown square were left in ruin after a massive fire. Earlier today, the Fayetteville Fairgrounds transformed into a drive-through fundraiser with local pitmasters and student volunteers you see here handing out plates to supporters. Every cent raised today goes directly to the businesses whose livelihoods were impacted by the fire. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell shows us how the community rallied together.
For many in Fayetteville, this wasn't just about getting a lunch. It was about showing up for neighbors in their darkest hour. But the idea for the fundraiser didn't start with the city officials, but instead with the city's younger generation.
I work on the square, and knowing that that could have been like my place, and also like the square is full of small businesses, and like that's someone's whole life. I just think it's great that like our community can come together and like help when like we need it.
Tracy Simmons and his wife Teresa, owners of Two Hicks with Sticks, donated the entire spread, and Main Street board member Susan Basham baked all the cookies. Tracy says he started up the smokers at midnight, ensuring they had enough food to meet the massive demand.
There was some really sweet people that lost their livelihoods, and you know, you just think about that. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine. I always said if I ever had the opportunity I could give back in any shape, form, or fashion, I'd love to do that for our community.
The response was overwhelming. The initial 200 pre-ordered plates sold out fast, but the team pushed through to make an additional 30-plus plates for first-come, first-served customers. By the time the dust settled, over 230 plates were served.
Everybody's affected by it, I guess. We're a small community and we love each other, and so we come together. We are Fayetteville strong, and that's what we want everybody to know, that we're going to be there to support them all, and we're going to come back stronger than ever.
Every dollar from those 230 plus lunches is heading to the merchants trying to navigate the aftermath of the fire. It's a starting point in the massive cost of rebuilding, but a powerful reminder that no one in this town stands alone. In Fayetteville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Wow, what a community effort. And Logan, I know you were telling me that like the owners had been preparing for this since midnight?
Yes, since midnight. They were able to, so there were 200 pre-ordered plates, and then they actually had even more food there. So they actually made about 30 to 40 more plates as well.
Wow, and it's how many of them, just 2?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's good to know that there's community support and that more people came out to support after the pre-orders were placed. But folks who weren't able to get their plate, which I would imagine is delicious based off of what I've seen, there's still another way they can support.
Yes, so you can go on the Main Street Association's website and you can donate to the recovery fund.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Logan Alexandra. All right, we're going to take a look at weather. Very warm. This is over in Huntsville. Few clouds. You can see it opened up a little bit. In other areas, we saw nothing but cloud cover. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, it's been a warm day, but I hear the warmth won't stick around much longer.
Yeah, the warmth definitely going to come to an end across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. And this afternoon, it was kind of the luck of the draw. Some folks got to enjoy a little bit of blue sky and a little bit of sunshine. Other folks this afternoon still talked about the mostly cloudy or the overcast sky. Still warm this evening, 72 in Huntsville, 71 in Arab, sitting at 74 over in Florence. Our friends in Fort Payne, good evening to those folks. They currently find themselves sitting at 72 degrees. Radar looks nice and quiet. We had a little bit of rain move through the Tennessee Valley very early this morning. That rain did not stick around too terribly long. We stayed dry through the course of the afternoon. But then things are going to begin to change as we head into the overnight. A cold front is going to push its way through the Tennessee Valley. Now, that cold front is going to bring us the opportunity for some isolated to widely scattered showers and then maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder. But this isn't the only cold front that's going to push its way through the Tennessee Valley. Another cold front is going to move through Friday night. We'll talk about that in great detail here in just a couple of minutes.
We've learned a shooting on Powell Drive in Huntsville has left one person injured. Huntsville police tells us that shooting happened around 4:15 on the 5000 block of Powell Drive. They say a man was shot and is now in the hospital for treatment. His condition unknown at this time, and we're still learning if anyone is in custody. We'll have more updates as they become available. A woman accused of pushing another woman off a cliff in DeKalb County is seeking a new trial, new lawyers, and to withdraw her guilty plea, all just over 2 weeks after she entered a guilty plea. Loretta Carr and her daughter, Jessie Kelly, are accused of kidnapping and pushing Mary Isbell off a cliff at Little River Canyon National Park back in 2021. Court records show Carr entered a guilty plea earlier this month, but yesterday, Carr filed a motion arguing her previous counsel was incompetent and argues her plea was not entered voluntarily and was made under duress. Her daughter, Jessie, pleaded guilty last August and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. A judge has granted a motion from both Colorado and the Trump administration to push back deadlines and the fight over U.S. Space Command. The two sides filed a joint motion today to set a new March 27th deadline for the administration to respond to Colorado's amended lawsuit. It replaces tomorrow's deadline that was in place after the White House received an earlier extension. Colorado says the move of Space Command headquarters from Colorado Springs to Huntsville's Redstone Arsenal is political retaliation. The White House calls it a merit-based national security decision. The joint status report is due March 6th, which could signal whether this case heads to trial. A 12-year-old hailed as a hero after saving an elderly woman from a house fire in Tennessee this morning. Lawrence County Fire and Rescue crews say that the crews responded around 4:30 a.m. to a house fire on Chief Creek Road. Once they arrived, they found the house engulfed in flames. Officials say a woman was pulled from the burning home you could see on your screen by a child while their sibling called 911. The elderly woman suffered significant burns while the child sustained minor burns. Both were taken to Vanderbilt Medical Center. The cause of that fire unknown. It's a miracle they are still alive. Well, a child dead after a car crash this morning in Huntsville, we've learned. The crash happened on the intersection of Wa Triana and Cable Circle Trail around 7. Early reports suggest the driver, which was the child, lost control of the car, which overturned. Huntsville police say the driver was pronounced dead at the scene. A person taken to the hospital after a school bus crash in Coleman County this morning. School officials say the bus was rear-ended while stopped on Highway 157. You can see a picture of that damage there. Officials say all students and the bus driver are safe, but one person was taken to the hospital as a precaution. The district says students were put on another bus to complete the journey to school. An Albertville lumber plant closing its doors in April, leaving more than 60 employees without work. According to state workforce filings, the Southern Parallel Forest Products Corp. Submitted a notice under the Federal WARN Act, requiring employers to inform officials ahead of major layoffs or plant closures. In total, about 62 employees are expected to be impacted. The reason for this closure has not been released at this time. Huntsville Hospital announced today they've received approval to build a new $14 million medical facility in Lawrence County. The 10,000 square foot Lawrence Medical Center will feature an extended hours urgent care clinic and diagnostic imaging. You can see the rendering there. This announcement comes after the Lawrence Medical Center ended inpatient services last year, leaving remaining care as an outpatient department of Decatur Morgan Hospital. Construction is expected to begin in May and is estimated for completion in the summer of 2027. Well, check this out. Athens police are stepping up their emergency response with 10 new AEDs, what you see there on your screen. The life-saving devices come from a grant from the Alabama Mountains, Rivers, and Valleys RC&D and come with pediatric keys, carrying cases, and all the accessories officers need while on patrol. While the devices haven't been used in the field yet, Athens police say they'll help drivers who suffered cardiac arrests. A local foundation is looking to maximize the impacts people receive with Charity Tracker. The network connects people in need to local organizations who can help. The system has been around for years, but representatives with the Elm Foundation say not every organization is signed up. Executive Director Missy Hanks says more organizations signing up could lead to larger impacts in the community.
Everything is time-stamped and dated, so it makes everything very transparent and, of course, allows for much more accountability. But it's also helpful for the individual because it allows us to communicate between agencies. Not every agency can do everything. So it gives us a mechanism to refer people so that we can provide more accurate charity, but it can also be done more quickly.
Hanks tells us one of the biggest concerns charities have when signing up is privacy. She notes the system uses a two-tiered privacy level, so they can only track the information listed in the network. Well, check this out. Lauderdale County officially has its first ever female district attorney. Governor Kay Ivey's office confirmed the appointment of Angie Hamilton this morning. Hamilton had already been serving as interim district attorney after being sworn in earlier this month. She succeeds former DA Chris Connolly, who was appointed to a judgeship by Governor Ivey last month. This weekend, prepare for severe weather season. Here's what you need to know to not miss out on the tax holiday. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo fills us in on the details. Lawmakers in Montgomery introduced a bill to implement camp safety standards following a deadly camp flood that claimed the life of an Alabama child in Texas last year. We have those details ahead. How are you preparing for severe weather? The state of Alabama is making it just a little easier with a sales tax holiday that starts tomorrow. Here are some of the items you can purchase that you see on your screen. Chargers and portable electronics, fire extinguishers, and smoke detectors are all included in that list. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo spoke with local experts to tell us some of the best items to keep handy.
When spring storms knock out power and put life on hold, it's best to stay as prepared as possible. That's why the state is having a tax-free holiday this weekend on items deemed necessary for getting through the severe weather. The Severe Weather Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday puts a pause on state sales taxes for critical items under $94, like the ones you see on your screen. That includes batteries and phone chargers, first aid kits, smoke detectors, and materials for your home. Experts say being prepared can make the difference between life and death, as some of these tax-exempt items could help you find shelter, patch wounds, or let you know if something is wrong inside your home. Power cords and portable generators under $1,500 are also tax-exempt. They can help to keep the power running to your freezer or cell phone when you need power and the lines are down. A local expert on generators tells me about some of the things to watch out for if you need one to power your appliances.
Keep the generator probably about 3 to 5 feet at least away from the home, and try to direct the exhaust away from the home because, again, worried about that carbon monoxide. Try and not put too much load on your generator. And again, that kind of comes back down to doing a little bit of research, figuring out what you have and what you're trying to power. You don't want to use any extension cords or touch any wires that are exposed because that could lead to an electrical shock hazard.
The sales tax holiday runs from midnight on Friday until Sunday night. Local experts say it's best to work ahead now and take advantage of the tax break so you're not fighting the crowds as the storms roll in. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
State sales taxes for these items will be waived, but local taxes may still apply. You can learn more about the exempted items on fox54.com. Here's a live look for the countdown to rehearsal launch before the real liftoff in the Artemis 2 mission. We'll take you to the Space Coast. And while our eyes on the sky, Jordan, it rained a little bit today. Is more in store tonight.
Yeah, we are definitely going to be talking about some more rain across the Tennessee Valley tonight, all thanks to an initial cold front that's going to push its way through the area. It's an initial cold front. There's another one on the way. We'll talk about it in a couple of minutes.
An Alabama House committee has advanced a bill that would increase protections and provide additional support for living organ donors. House Bill 361 would require public employers to grant a leave of absence to organ donors, offer a tax credit up to $2,000 to private employers who grant a leave of absence for donors, and prohibit insurance companies from discriminating against donors. If approved, the measure would take effect October 1st. The Alabama House passing a bill that would set new safety standards for camps. House Bill 381 requires overnight camps to obtain an emergency preparedness license from the Alabama EMA to operate. To obtain a license, camps must have a weather radio broadcasting all hazards conditions and an alarm system that can alert people of an emergency without relying on the internet. The bill is named in honor of Alabama's Sarah Marsh, who died during the floods last summer at Camp Mystic in Texas. The bill now moves to the state Senate. And the Alabama Senate passing a bill requiring all commercial drivers to prove they speak English. House Bill 242 requires all commercial drivers in the state to demonstrate English proficiency and provide valid entry documentation if their commercial driver's license was issued outside the U.S. The bill also states if a driver isn't proficient in English, both the driver and the truck operator could be fined. That bill will now move to the State House.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
And A nice view just outside of sunny Hereford Elementary here in Huntsville. A little teaser as to what our top teacher will be in the coming week. But you could see behind the school a little bit of cloud cover, but also some blue. The sky opened up and I felt the sunshine that day.
If there was ever a day for you to go talk to a teacher, today was that day.
It was.
Yes, because you got to spend time outside. That means you had to move about the city or elsewhere. Today, I guess it was the city. And you got to enjoy the warmth.
I'm glad you mentioned that because when filming that, there were some kids outside of the playground, a lot of them, so they enjoyed the sun too.
Today was in fact a very good day for outdoor recess. But all good things must come to an end, and this good thing is definitely going to come to an end. We did have to start the day with a little bit of rain across the Tennessee Valley through the early and middle part of the morning. That activity didn't stick around very long. Radar looks nice and quiet this evening, but that's going to change as we head into the overnight. An initial cold front is going to push its way through the Tennessee Valley late tonight, early tomorrow morning. It's going to bring some isolated, widely scattered showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder. No real threat for severe weather, which is a little bit of good news because normally when you're talking about warm air like we had today and then a cold front, you'd be talking about a threat for severe weather. But the atmospheric parameters just simply aren't going to be in place across our area to support any sort of a threat for severe weather. Where they are, however, talking about some severe weather, and this is kind of interesting this time of year, late February, and we're talking about a tornado watch, northern Kentucky, heading into Indiana, different portions of Illinois. I do believe talking about a tornado watch. They've had a variety of severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings south of Indianapolis, so they're talking about some severe weather. Indiana, eventually into Ohio as we head into the overnight. And this time of year, that's really uncommon. Not too terribly uncommon across the Tennessee Valley, but really uncommon across the upper Midwest. Now, after we're done talking about some isolated, widely scattered showers late tonight, most of Friday is actually going to be quiet, and I do think we're going to get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine to close out the work and school week. But then showers and thunderstorms are going to build back into the Tennessee Valley with a secondary cold front that's going to move through Friday night and then early into Saturday morning. And it's that secondary cold front that's really going to bring us back to reality as we head into Sunday and then through the early part of next week. And reality this time around is just simply the fact that it is late February and our temperatures are going to reflect that. There's plenty of sunshine in the forecast for the Friday morning commute and then even as we head into the lunch hour, but the cloud cover and even a little bit of rain is going to begin to develop through Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, but again, not really talking about any sort of a concern for severe weather. Maybe some gusty winds through the overnight and then early into Saturday morning, but again, the atmospheric parameters just simply are not going to be there to support any sort of a severe weather threat. 6:30, 7:30 in the morning on Saturday, this activity gets on out of here. We still deal with a mostly cloudy sky through Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. We're going to begin to lose a lot of that cloud cover through the overnight and then early into Sunday morning. Dry Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, opportunities for rain build back into the Tennessee Valley next Wednesday and Thursday. Record-breaking heat this afternoon over in the Shoals. They had a high temperature of 79 degrees. That breaks the old record of 76 set back in 2018. We tied our record at the Huntsville International Airport, also dating back to 2018. Temperatures currently sitting in the low and mid 70s. A beautiful evening if you'd like to go out the door for dinner. Temperatures going to fall into the mid 50s as we head into the overnight. Got a low right around 54 degrees. Have a good look at the next 7 days. Upper 60s behind the first cold front on Friday, 68 degrees, 67 on Saturday. But then look at Sunday. We start Sunday in the low and mid 30s, right around 33 degrees. We're only going to climb into the mid 40s. Look at Monday and Tuesday. We're going to start Monday at 25. We're going to start Tuesday at 23. Plenty of sunshine both Monday and Tuesday, but it's not going to be warm. 41 on Monday, 48 on Tuesday. We're going from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum really, really fast. Now, we do get back to the lower 60s Wednesday and Thursday of next week, but again, next Thursday comes with a fairly healthy opportunity for rain.
NASA's pressing ahead with a key milestone for its Artemis 2 mission. Tonight, the agency conducting a full wet dress rehearsal after replacing a filter that restricted liquid hydrogen flow during an earlier fueling test. Here's a live look at the rocket. The wet dress rehearsal simulates the full launch countdown without an actual liftoff, allowing teams to verify systems and procedures before mission. The simulated launch window opens tonight in about an hour. NASA says March 6th is the earliest possible launch date. And if you want to see the entire dress rehearsal live, you can watch it right here on FOX54+.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
And good evening, everyone. Class 5A and Class 6A teams from the Tennessee Valley were in action on Thursday for the semifinals of the Northwest Regionals on the campus of Wallace State Community College in Hansville. Up first were a pair of teams from Guntersville. Up first were the Guntersville girls, Lady Wildcats, in a cat fight with Russellville. Guntersville up by 10 when Russellville tosses it inside to Layla Hill. She scores with a baby hook, cuts the lead down to 8. On the other end, Addison Renee Hammond cleans up her own miss and pulls up from the outside of the lane, scores 2 of her 15 points. Wildcats up by 11. Next possession for Guntersville. Sophia Porce launches the three-pointer from the wing, and it's good. 14-point lead for Guntersville at that point. Lady Cats were paced Thursday morning by Kenna DeBuey. She scored 21 points, including this hoop and horn. Guntersville beats Russellville by a final of 60-36. They advance to the 5A Northwest Regional Final. The Guntersville boys were in action next, taking on Boaz. First half, cross-court pass goes to Turner Hammond. He launches a three from the corner, and it's good. Guntersville up by 11. Time winding down in the first. Toby Hamilton lines it up from three-point range and hits before the end of the first quarter for Boaz. However, Guntersville still up by 10. Wildcats start to pour it on in the second quarter. Kobe Brothers misses the initial floater, grabs his own rebound, and then scores 2 of his 25 points in the paint. Guntersville's boys advance to the Class 5A Regional Finals by a final of 66-37 over Boaz. Coming up tonight in sports at 9 p.m. on Fox 54, we'll check in with our Class 6A teams to see who punched their ticket to the regional finals. Covering high school basketball on the campus of Wallace State Community College in Hansville, I'm Mo Carter, Fox 54 Sports.
Coming up tonight on Fox 54 News at 9, 2 digital billboards you see here now up displaying the photo of a missing 2-year-old who hasn't been seen for several weeks. Updates from Enterprise. A stern warning from state health officials: measles is coming, and it's not a matter of if, but when it arrives, how to protect yourself and others. And a foundation is looking to expand a tool that helps connect you to local nonprofits. We have those details on Fox 54 News at 9. Before we let you go, look at this, a very big porch pirate. This black bear was seen thinking about stealing, I should say. I'm not gonna accuse him of stealing, but thinking about stealing a package from a home in Florida. A family was shocked when seeing this. Oh, he took it. Well, this was seen on surveillance footage after coming back from a camping trip. The family, you can see how the large bear was initially sniffing the package, and it seems ready to take it, and it did. But then it changed its mind and left. Wait, so it left the package behind?
At one point, it seemed to garner some degree of a conscience. But then it appears to have turned around and been like, nah, I need this.
Maybe we didn't see the full clip because, yeah, he was like, never mind. And then he went back to get it.
Right, and he did saunter off with something in his mouth. I feel like we continually show these, and you see them a lot on social media, videos of black bears specifically. If I ever encounter one, I feel like I'm still supposed to be afraid of it, but I also feel like they're kind of very large, dumb oafs in a way.
Well, they're cute, they're like big dogs, but it's better the black bear than I hear the brown and the polar bears.
See, I've always heard that too, that it's the grizzly bears, the brown grizzly bears that you really need to be concerned with. And if it's the black bears, well, they're just kind of cute and out there for, they live by the phrase, I'm here for a good time and not a long time.
I know, I just want to boop their noses.
Don't you though?
They're so cute. A distance though.
Yes.
See us tonight at 9. We'll see you then. Have a good one.